Budget advisors sometimes see families who haven't been able to balance their budget because they don't have enough money coming in to make ends meet. There are lots of hurdles to managing our money, but there are solutions available also. Probably the most important solution is a budgeting system that works for us. It doesn't have to be difficult. We may simply take the money to pay the rent, power, phone and hire purchases and put it away in a jar each week and promise not to touch it for anything else. Or we can visit a budget advisor who will help us work out a budget, sort out a bank balance, work out the regular costs and then help us follow the plan.
You feel you've got a few financial problems, that you're not able to meet all your commitments like the school fees and your TV. And Marianne, you said you think a lot of it is to do with Bill spending money on the car.
Yes, I don't think it's all his fault, but he's just so secretive about the money he spends on the car and expects us to cope on the amount that he gives me. I just don't think that's fair.
And how do you feel about that, Bill?
Well, me and Marianne, we fight a lot about it. It's not a big deal. Just I think she gets at me about the car. It's one of the few outlets I've got. Then we have a great big fight and we mess it up.
So, do you think there's some solutions to the problem? You know, what sort of options do you think are available to you?
Well, Marianne seems to manage the money pretty well. I think we can have a plan that we can both work to and both know what's going on. The car's pretty good at the moment, so in the short term I don't need to spend any money, and Fred said the other day he wants some work doing on his car, so and some other people might be able to get some work on their car.
Plus I could always get another job. I know you're not that keen, Bill, but you know, the kids are older now, they're at college. I don't have to be at home as much, and that would always be a little bit more money for us.
That sounds really positive. So, let's look at a budget and go over it together, and let's look at the income, and if you can increase the income, that'd be really good, Marianne. And there might be enough for holidays or for spending and saving. All right? Right.
Saving apparently is like exercise or eating properly. Most of us know we should, but we don't. That is the key finding from a study of New Zealanders' attitudes to saving, prepared for financial services company AMP by the research firm Colmar Brunton. Now, the study also found more and more of us are comfortable with living with debt. So why are we such poor savers? Have we been pampered too much by the state? I mean, is the government going to be there at the end of the day? And how can we change our attitude? Researcher Brian Harland is with us, along with Anna Poole of the Budget Advisory Service. Nice to see you both. Now, what do we find out? Key finding is what? Dollars are not important.
Well, no, not important at all. In fact, attitude is everything when it comes to saving. That's the big thing. When you can speak with a young couple in Dargaville that are on less than $30,000 a year and still have a good portion of savings behind them, and yet you talk to another couple in Auckland that are on over $180,000 a year and have absolutely no savings at all, you tend to understand that it's actually a lot to do with about the way that you feel about saving and your feeling about debt as well.
What do we find out from the people? I mean, you know, if you're earning 180k in Auckland and you don't want to save, I mean, is that what we're finding? Or people are saying, oh no, I know I should,
well,
I know we earn a lot. But
the awareness of the need to save is actually quite high, and certainly other work that AMP does with Superwatch will tell you that there's a high awareness of the need to save. But it's also, there's the want things that happen with people as well. You know, I need to have this and I need to have that. And there's pressure on people that no one could have expected. Our boomer generation, for example, of people that are having, you know, really high pressures to help look after their elderly parents and pay for their kids at university, those types of things, stopping them from saving even though that they know that they should.
Yeah, but that's an altruistic reason. What about the non-altruistic reasons, like I need a DVD player and a holiday in Italy at Christmas time? Is there a lot of that or not?
Oh, there's certainly that around as well. It's really easy to put off the idea of saving, to think it's something that you can do later on in life, when in fact it's so much easier to just go and buy something now because it's there. And
so that's short-term savings versus long-term savings. Do we have a a different attitude to short-term savings?
We actually are quite good at short-term saving. We can save deposits really well. We're just not very good at saving totals.
What about people who have money versus haven't had money in their lives? Is there a big change in that attitude?
Well, for those that have had a life experience with money, they're much more comfortable with it. They don't seem to have the same urge or need to spend. They're familiar with money handling skills, whereas someone who's perhaps earning twice as much as their parents ever earned, they've got new attitudes that they're trying to develop and learn.
That's really interesting, because that would be applicable to a lot of people, I would imagine,
Absolutely.
isn't it? The boomer generation have come out, and IT people, and they earn big salaries, and mum and dad came from a working class background or whatever, and suddenly bang, they got the dough.
So, you know, early learning experiences are really, really important, and the younger that you learn to save, the better it can be. And what we have is you know, a whole lot of people that haven't got those early life skills.
One of the things I learnt that was fascinating, successful savers put money away, and it's simply never seen, it's never there. The unsuccessful saver does what? Pays all the bills first.
Absolutely, and you get to the end of the week and you've got 50 cents left over because you've paid all the bills. And by the way, bills are debts often. It's a nice little reframe of that debt thing. But they don't think of even putting that 50 cents away because it seems so little.
Is mortgage saving, in their view? Like,
owning a home is New Zealanders' belief of saving, and you know, it's a way of developing equity. But unless you're prepared to save, to sell your family home or to trade down your family home, it's not actually giving you the free cash when you retire.
And do people know that, or they just haven't?
No,
they don't know that.
They don't think that's right. In fact, they really don't want to sell the family home. It's their home. It's what they've worked for, but it's not a form of savings.
Age is an issue. For example, if you're a student, you've got massive debt, you've got to deal with that. Can't save for retirement. Middle age, suddenly got the kids, got to think about university, can't save for retirement. Suddenly I get to the older age, suddenly, man, I need so much money, I can't be bothered because I'm never going to save it anyway, so never mind. Is there a lot of that?
There is a little bit of that, and certainly some of the older and more mature consumers that we spoke with had a far stronger saving understanding than some of our younger consumers these days. And it's from some of them had a different attitude because of a different exposure to some of the debts that are out there.
Okay, so that's where we're at. Anna, does any of that surprise you?
No, it doesn't. If you're wanting to save, if you've got the inclination to save, you need to look at your whole situation, identify what is possible to save on a weekly, fortnightly, monthly basis, even if it is a tiny amount, and make it, as you said before, disappear before it actually hits your...
so that's the key. If you never have it, you won't miss it.
You won't miss it, yeah. As the survey said, especially if you're having a pay rise, if you can work that pay rise into your saving, you're coping well on what you've had now, you've got a pay rise, take some of that, put that away, then and continue to live the way you've lived.
Can you take most people's incomes and make it work better for them in a way that they would go, oh, I didn't think of that?
What we do in the budget service is that we put it down and we show people where they're at, what their commitments are, and if there is a possibility that, yes, you can put X amount away every week for this particular goal. Or yes, continue to put X amount away for the things that you know are coming up. There's the two sorts of saving that we actually encourage our clients to do. The saving for your monthly expenses, your quarterly expenses, your yearly expenses. Get into the habit of doing that. And slowly increasing that, you can take into account savings. And also having a goal to save towards is always a good thing as well. What
about our attitude towards debt? Is debt necessarily bad? Do we need to? A lot of financial advisors say get rid of your debt.
Debt costs. You know, you've got the goods, you're paying for them, you're paying an interest premium on them, and you start to possibly, in some cases, get a resentment towards having to keep paying this because, you know, I've got it here, it's in front of me, and it's getting used and it's going to need repair, but yet I'm still paying for it.
Yeah.
It's a realisation that these long-term purchases and debts that we do have are actually costing us money on a daily basis.
See, I'm wondering how much of this, I mean, it's all attitudinal, sort of, it was leading up to being a dumb question, but I wonder if it's generational. Like, we have a different attitude to consumerism from the previous generation. They would say, A, pay cash. Nana and Grandad say pay cash. B, you don't need the latest stuff. That's just the way they live. But then again, you're that flip side. Why the hell shouldn't you have the latest stuff? You know, if you want to go buy a DVD, why the hell don't go buy one? Who cares?
But stop and think about it first. Credit is so easy to get hold of these days. You don't have to think about whether you can afford it or not. You can go down, you can pop something on HP, and then worry about affording it later.
Yeah.
Stop and think first. Look at your situation to see whether this is actually going to be affordable. Because if it's not, it's going to cause stresses and strains.
So are you guys sitting at Colmar Brutton going, man, I need to save for my retirement?
Absolutely. I mean, this is probably one of the studies that's had the most profound effect on us as researchers, because you sit there and you think, my goodness me, it is a debt, it's not a bill.
Great stuff. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. Brian Harland and Anna Paul, nice to see you as well.
Kylie likes the supermarket, and the supermarket likes Kylie.
I'm a bit impulsive, really. Like, you know, I see something and think, oh, that's nice, we'll try that. I don't really look at the prices of it. Sometimes you have to get another trolley.
She still likes a special.
Oh, wow. Our favourite. With spaghetti, when it's 99 cents, we buy lots, yeah.
But the kids often call the shots.
Fresh and fruity down there is on special, but they won't eat them. Brad doesn't like the lump. Can I have 200 grams of your ham and chicken luncheon? Pat?
A full trolley, a week's worth, and Kylie's not surprised at the total, $224.45 for a family of 5. Otago University calculates the cost of feeding a family each week, balancing cost against nutritional needs. The annual survey measures the amount of food we need based on age and sex, and includes the most commonly eaten fruit and veg, lower-priced meats and shelf items. For example, for Kylie to maintain an adequate balanced diet, it should cost a minimum of $46, $48 for her husband Jody, $41 for 10-year-old Aaron, $26 for 3-year-old Taylor, and $23 for 1-year-old Brad. According to the university, a basic weekly food cost of $184. Add another $13 for non-food items, toothpaste, toilet paper, washing powder, and the total's $197. But Kylie spent $224.45, $26.45 over the recommended basic budget.
If we had skimped down a bit on, like, biscuits and chips and stuff like that, probably, or looked at the prices more, and thought, oh, I'll buy that one instead of the other one, we would have been able to do better. But I don't think we would have saved that much more money.
Now, here's our budget specialist, Anna Paul. She spends just $100 a week on her family of 2 adults and 2 hungry teenagers. Half what Otago University reckons she would have to spend to give her family an adequate balanced diet. Her secret, plainly and simply.
My children are growing and we're all well covered, I think, so I think we do, no, we definitely don't starve, and we also have 2 large cats and a bird.
So can she help Kylie?
We might have to look at whether a concentrate would be better than buying the pre-mixed. Possibility here of buying a refill. I think you've shot very wisely. Thank you.
But can she improve on it?
We'll give it a go. We'll give it a go.
She's a list writer.
So you save a cent or 2 here over the course of a year. It actually adds up to something.
A calculator wielder.
Have a calculator, we'll travel.
A gram comparer.
In this particular case, Kylie is needing a kilo of margarine a week. But looking at the prices, it's cheaper to buy 2 500-gram punnets versus the kilo one, and a saving of $1.10 there. Divided by 3 times 2.
I wouldn't buy the budget dishwashing liquid, because I personally like the other stuff better. But otherwise, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much the same as what I buy. Bread? No frills bread? Yeah, that's all right.
She shuns convenience.
This is the lazy way.
This is convenience. You're paying for the convenience. You're paying for the container. You're paying for not having to stop, think and prepare ahead of time.
You've got to work a little harder. Yeah.
She studies labels.
Cereal can be very expensive too, and I think you've got to do a bit of packet reading to see the nutrients and that you're going to get from any one particular brand or product.
And she fingers the fruit.
The trick with mandarins is to feel for the thinner skins, because you're actually going to get more. You're going to get more fruit with the thinner skin. But this is a wonderful price for broccoli, so we'll have 2 of those this week. It's actually a little bit cheaper to buy that one. Okay, and you could take that home. You could split it into a couple of meals.
A new grand total of $178 Anna's cut Kylie's shopping by $46.45, carved a quarter off her original bill.
I'm very pleased with that, actually.
So Anna's 4-point shopping guide. Plan the week's menu, always take a list, always know how much you can spend, and never go to the supermarket hungry.
Please take the trouble, especially if thinking no one is here to see.
Ngalava se kupeu ka o sa moi le fa lave.
God is here.
Ferme mo mai leku.
That is very
Okay,
fine.
Leilua.
May I know your name?
This is Mr. and Mrs. Molimau. They've lived in New Zealand for the past 6 years, and in that time they've raised a family and bought a house. Until yesterday, they were leading routine, happy lives. Today, their world has been dealt a cruel and brutal blow.
Wailea ka maloa.
Kailu.
Samoa has been devastated by a cyclone, and it's feared lives have been lost. Mrs. Molimau is from one of the villages worst hit, and she has to return to assist with relief work.
Sole. Na fa fena saule ka maloa I ka kongo le fale.
Tunga.
Look, I know you only wanted to borrow $1,000, but I'm helping you, mate. I gave you revolving credit up to $2,000 just in case you fell behind, and you did. Am I right? No need to thank me, part of the service. Look, I'll tell you what. Instead of paying off the $1,200 you still owe me at $50 a week for 24 weeks, how about paying less principal and reducing interest payments over a 34-week period to, say, $40 a week? Now, you can't say fairer than that, can you? No need to think about it. I'll have the papers drawn up and sent to you. It's a pleasure.
Mr. Swain,
Yeah.
I've got Mr. and Mrs. Molimau to see you. Shall I send them in?
Certainly. What are you, tar loafers or Kiaranas? Tar loafers, eh? Look, Swain's the name. You'll be Mr. Mullamur and Mrs. Come in, come in. Now, how can I help out?
Thank you, Mr. Swain, for...
No, dear. Swain.
Swine.
Ae. E se a ingo palangi.
Sorry, my English no good. My husband and me wanting $3,000 to go Samoa for the Fa'alavi.
Ah, the old Fa'alavi, eh? The old family trouble. Here, wasn't that cyclone, was it? Ah, look, see, we Palakis, we don't have the same pressure, the same commitment as you fellas.
Wai mai ar kamalo.
Se kau karal ka maloa.
Thank you. Oi kafefe. Ko giking e mar kamalo le lo ka kala fa English.
I can sense you can't understand me. I know you people like my own family. So you want to go home, eh? On the big bird? Well, I can fix it. Do you have any security?
As if one disaster was not enough for this family, the Molimaus may be falling into the same financial trouble that many New Zealanders get caught in.
Security, you know, furniture, car, house.
Yeah. We're having a house.
Oh, fine. Well, look, I'll have your house checked out this arvo.
This should be your first warning. Think very carefully before putting your home up as security. You risk losing it. It has happened. And a house is a lot of money to cover a $3,000 loan.
We just wanting $3,000.
No problem. The house will cover it.
Yeah,
But what about the repayments? Look, for a loan like this, and because you've got the family problems, what's say, $90 a week for 1 year?
Oh, thank you.
Well, look, see, there's going to be some upfront costs like establishment fee, application fee, and nothing to worry about. But then there's the insurance.
Check what the finance rate is, because that's the real cost of your loan. Here, the finance rate's more than 50%. That means the Mollymouth would be borrowing $3,000, but paying back almost $5,000. Check the finance rate.
Fine.
Fine! Yes, well, you call round tomorrow. I'll have those papers ready for you to sign. My secretary can make your bookings for you if you like, from here. Well, bon voyage, toso farlo, tarlofa.
Thankfully, the Mollymouths have decided not to take the loan. This is the wise thing to do, and they're happy with their decision. In fact, even if they had signed papers for the loan, they still would have had 3 days in which to cancel it. It would not have been too late. The conclusion that the Mollymouths have come to is that there are alternatives.
Well, the only one under $300 is this 14-inch Mitsuda. It's $249.
Oh, wow. Does it have a remote?
This particular model doesn't, no.
Have you got anything else?
There's the 22-inch Mitsuda. This is $549 cash, but we do have hire purchase and lay-by available. For the hire purchase scheme, you'll need $100 initial deposit, and then the monthly payments are $30. That's over 24 months.
So does that include interest?
Yes, you'll be paying about $196 interest over the 2 years, and another $75 or so as an insurance and booking fee. This is all included in your monthly payment.
That does sound quite a lot.
We do have one alternative. You can buy on lay-by. There's no interest, no extra charges. You just pay off the cash price.
Great, that sounds like me.
But, of course, you don't get the TV until it's all paid off.
You just cannot continue to live beyond your means.
They need to take action now.
Where's the TV?
Well, I'm sort of onto it. This is what I found out today. Okay, we can either pay cash, but that means robbing a bank or something, or we can get it on hire purchase and pay a small fortune in interest, or we can get it on lay-by, pay no interest, and get no TV until it's all paid off.
Gary won't be pleased. It's gladiators tonight.
Normally, of course, we couldn't offer a great deal like this on such a superb new piece of electronic equipment, but our buyer in Japan scored a real coup with the bulk order, and we felt obliged to pass on the benefits of that to the New Zealand public.
Certainly a nice picture, isn't it?
That's the Matsuda Sigmoid signal technology, a world first. Tell you what, $549 is an absolute steal on this baby.
Maybe. But we saw it for the same price down the road, though.
Well, they wouldn't have been offering interest-free deals.
No, that's true. So how much exactly would we be paying per week for this deal?
We have a number of flexible, no deposit, no interest deals that you can choose from. Now, if you choose the 36-month period, you'd be looking at monthly payments of $25, for instance. So, per week, that's just $6.
23 of us, that's nothing. It's like $2 each. How much was it at the other place?
Hang on, let me think. I wish I brought my notes. I think it's about $30 a month.
Well, there you go. That's the extra you're paying in interest.
Although I can't remember whether it was 36 months or...
Look, this is the best deal you're going to get around town on this model. I can assure you of that.
And also the other place you had to have $100 deposit.
Well, there you go.
When can we have it delivered?
This afternoon. Delivery's free, of course.
No, I bought the car because of what he told me about it. And what he told me about it wasn't true. It's just like this agreement. Except he didn't keep his side of it. 36 months? We're going to be paying a TV off for 36 months. I'm going to be an old lady in 36 months.
Hello, Fina. We're only paying $2 a week each.
Yeah, it's interest-free, remember?
Hang on. Look here at the bottom. $80 insurance and booking fees. Total cost of product, $820. $900 for a TV.
Hey, that can't be right. The cash price was only $549.
Didn't you two read this before you signed it?
Hang on. Okay, 36 times $25 was $900 minus $549. We're paying $351 extra. We've been ripped off again.
I feel sick.
Don't feel sick. Feel angry.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to bed.